Good day, viewers. Peace of Christ to you all. In today's video, we are going to continue with the topic from the last video where I stated we will be talking about Satan in this topic because the topic of the video is demons, devils, and Satan. So we discussed extensively devils and demon in the part 1 of this video. So in this part 2, we are going to be talking about Satan. What the word Satan means, how it is being applied, and how it is used in the Bible. Because a lot of people have this idea that Satan, the spirit that is more like God, is present everywhere, causing people to do evil. Well, that's not the case if you look at the Bible, because Satan could not have that quality. He does not have that ability. He cannot be present everywhere, and he cannot know what happens everywhere. He's not omniscient. Satan can only be in a place at a time. Though he have some other ability, spiritual strength that was given to him when he was created by God, as does every other angel, and especially the archangels. So Satan, being like an archangel, just like Michael, that is an archangel, is the leader of a group of angels. Satan also is also a leader of a legion of angels. But however, Satan fell with some of those angels. They became demons or devils, as we discussed in the last video. So here we'll be talking about the word Satan, what it means. Now, if you carefully study the Bible, and if you look up the word Satan, you'll see that the word Satan means an accuser or an adversary. So an adversary is like someone's opponent, someone who is against another person. So here, Satan is against God's will and purpose. That's why he was cast down from heaven. So anyone who stands against the will and purpose of God can be referred to as Satan. Satan is a term, is just like a noun. It's like a common noun. For example, like the word man is a common noun used for an adult male person. But however, they have their individual names. So the word Satan, that is how it's being used, is a common noun for anyone who stands against the will and purpose of God. Just like the word angel as well. I did talk about that in the last video. It's also a common noun because we have different categories of angel. We have the seraphims, we have the cherubims, and they have their names. But the names of some are given to us, like Michael, like Gabriel. So the angels, they have their distinctive name. However, they are all referred to as angels. So also, anyone who stands against God's will or God's purpose is referred to as Satan. So we'll take example of that. We can get it in the New Testament. In Matthew chapter 4, there is a specific spirit, the one that tempted Jesus, and also the one that tempted the Israelites in the wilderness, and also he's the same spirit that inflicted Job, that tempted Job, and will also be the same spirit that deceived Eve in the garden. So he is referred to as Satan because he was the first one who stand against God's will and purpose. And how do we know it's Lucifer? We know it's Lucifer because his action was same with that spirit that stood against God's will and purpose in heaven before he was cast down to earth. Now when he came to earth, what he did was similar to what he did in heaven. And he did it even before men begin to multiply on earth in Genesis chapter 3. So that's how we know that it's this same spirit that always stood against God's will and purpose. He's the one that always tempts people to stand against the will and purpose of God, or to abandon God's will and purpose. So he was the first one that was referred to as Satan. So subsequently, anyone who do what he does, who stand against God's will and purpose, like in a manner that he does, or in some other manner, will also be referred to as Satan. That's why in Matthew 16, you see that Jesus rebuking Peter. When Peter was telling him he wouldn't go to the cross, Jesus told Peter, "Get behind me, Satan." So the word Satan can also be used for a human being as well as a spirit who stand against God's will and purpose. So if you explore the word, if you explore it more, study it more in the scripture, you see that the way it is being used, it can be referred to a human being or a spirit. Example of that is 1 Corinthians 11, where Paul said that though Satan can translate himself into an angel of light. Now, a lot of people interpretation will mean that what the devil, which is that demon or that spirit that stands against the will of God, can convert himself into an angel of light, which is like those angels in heaven, to deceive people from the truth of God into falsehood. But also, being exposed to what the word means and how we have seen the usage of the word, it can also mean someone who is evil, someone who does not believe in the true God, can convert himself into somebody which claims to believe in God in order to deceive the people of God into believing a lie. Just like what Jesus said in Matthew chapter 7, that what? He said that beware of false prophets. They are like wolves in sheep clothing. So those people, those false prophets, can pretend under the pretense of being a true prophet called by God, can pretend to be someone who is truly called by God in order to deceive those who are following God into believing a lie. So that's how the word is being used. The word can be used for a spirit who stand against the will and purpose of God, and also a person who stand against God's will and purpose. So this is where I'll be ending the topic, devils, demon, and Satan. Do like the video, share it, and then subscribe to the channel, because subsequently we'll be discussing topics like this, topics that are a bit difficult to understand, trusting the grace of God to teach us, to give us more insight in some of these topics. So may the peace and blessings of Christ be with you. I will see you in the next video that I do. Shalom.